You know, like, I miss days like this where you can just, like, go to, like, a nightclub in the 70s, you know, and they're playing this.
But you're saying miss days like these, like, it's... You've done it in the 70s.
You had the big cigar with the big pep hat, you know, the big ones, you know? And, you know, you're just having a good time.
That one girl over there is like, what's up, Daddy Yankee? How you doing? I'm just like...
What you doing? What's up, Foster Cleopatra? Where you been, girl?
You mean Shaft? Is what you're saying? You miss Shaft? Did you watch that show?
I did not. But,
you didn't watch that? I know of it. Never watched
that
that
one. It
one.
influenced too much of the African American culture, so therefore I lived it without truly living it.
Okay, yes.
No.
Did we start this already? This is...
My granddad.
Oh.
We did. My granddad would watch this show, and it was called Frank. What was it called? Sanford and Son.
Oh, Sanford and Sons. Yeah.
Oh, he loved Fred Sanford. He loved that old guy, and he mimicked literally my granddad, and like. How he talks and just like his mannerisms and just like the things that they care about. I'm pretty they care about so much the same thing. And he loves Sanford and Son. He like so yeah, he loved Sanford and Sons.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Occasion and Purpose. You already know who I am. I'm Doug the Mug, and this is my boy Josh
The best. That was whack. Josh the Mac. Return of the Mac once again.
Here's the thing.
What's up? What's the thing?
Do it again.
Return of the Mac?
Do it again.
Return of the Mac once again.
What's up? How's it? All right. So as you guys can tell, things have changed.
Nothing has changed.
A lot. What are you talking about?
But money has changed.
I mean,
we have increased our income by $10,000.
Did I wish I was? I wish I was true.
No,
I'll be out of debt. I'll be out of debt so fast.
We did make some improvements to the studio.
Yeah. We have lights.
Yeah, we have lights.
These are good lights. These are pretty good lights.
Yep. We got an editor.
We haven't. Well, we've been having him, but now he's like
officially part of the team.
Officially part of the team. Shout out Miko.
Miko.
As you already know, Miko's the one that's done both vlogs.
We had some cool animation. Yeah, He did both. Our vlogs are taking off. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We have.
We didn't think anyone was gonna watch it, honestly.
Where's the logo up top?
Huh?
We have a new logo.
That's right up to it's right there.
We just been killing it.
It's
a new year, new us.
You guys still haven't seen this video? I'm pretty sure this video, the one that I did. Remember when we were doing it at my place?
Sorry, the mic.
It's okay.
If you hear
it's okay. You can.
Sorry.
It's okay. But remember how we were kind of setting up things at my house.
Yep.
So I think they're gonna see that video before they see this one.
Okay. You gonna post it? You gonna release it?
It's a small video. It's just kind of like hey, this is the new thing. Because as you guys saw already, if you guys follow us on Occasion and Purpose on IG,
page,
you already saw that I posted up a video and I haven't posted up in months.
But Doug claims he's gonna do more, so let's hope he does more.
Let's hope I do more, please.
I believe in you.
I'm gonna try. It's honestly very hard. Honest, because we talked about this and we have these conversations. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm reading it, but I don't know how to like give this out like that.
What I do, I don't use personal people's like testimonies or anything, but I relate it back to either a struggle that I went through or somebody else's struggle that I think I have a good solution or opinion about.
But I feel like I get that. But I feel like I'm not qualified enough to do this, even though biblically it tells you to do it either way.
So this dude every Thursday had a youth group, and he would preach every Thursday about random topics, and literally he didn't feel like he was up to the challenge, and he still did it anyway. So now that the situation has changed and people have to be at home, it would make more sense to just continue what you were doing on Thursday, but on a camera. But somehow we still don't feel like we are made for the challenge.
I know. I understand.
You're just by yourself.
I know. I have no clue. I feel I'm Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's a good. So the point is, how do you know when you're made to do something when you don't feel qualified? This is called the imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome tells people that you're not really ready to do the job. Either you're under talented, you're not talented enough. Maybe you're not qualified. Maybe no job experience. And maybe you're too far away from your goal to actually realize that you are ready to do the challenge. For example, I want to do computer science. and I want to apply to internships, but my imposter syndrome tells me that I'm not qualified because I can't do certain things that maybe Doug can do on the computer. For example, say you were a computer scientist, and like let's say some kids understand, you know, maybe more math than you do, and they can figure out how to do things quicker than you can, so therefore you feel like you don't deserve to do the task. You're not ready for the internship, but you are ready. Because you can't never say that you're not ready or qualified when you haven't even taken the first step, right? Right. So how do you fight the ability in yourself, you know, that says that you're not ready to do it? You're not qualified, you know? And I think that, well, in the Bible, there's a cool biblical verse, and God, you know, he tells, I think it was Isaiah. I don't know. It's like Isaiah 1, you know?
I'll look it up. Give me a second.
We're going to look it up. And it's like deep in Isaiah 1 something. It's a big book. And God tells Isaiah, he's like, you're young. He's like, you're you know, you're a kid, but you still need to speak the things that I told you. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm pretty
Isaiah
sure.
1 what? Oh, you're already in it. Oh, okay, never mind.
I have it highlighted somewhere.
Probably one of those.
Yeah. It says, let's see. Maybe it's not Isaiah.
Is it Timothy?
Is it Jeremiah?
Is it Timothy?
Is it Jeremiah?
I think it's Timothy.
It's the one that you were born in your mother's room. Which one is that one?
That's literally the one you're just reading right there.
This is it?
Yeah, it's right
I
there.
said it's Jeremiah 1. I get them confused. It says right here. It says, get up and prepare for action. Go out and tell them everything that I tell you to say. Don't be afraid of them, or I will make you look foolish in front of them. For see, today I have made you strong, like a fortified city that cannot be captured. Like an iron pillar or a bronze wall, you will stand against the whole land and the king's officials. They will fight for you, but they will fail. They will fight you, but they will fail. For I am with you, and I will take care of you. So I like the part in the beginning. It says that, you know, go and tell them everything that I say to you. He talks to young people. This is about young people like us, you know, that we're young. Talks about how, you know, how God, you know, spoke to us and he knows who we are before we even knew him. And even though we don't feel like we're ready, if you have the notion to do something, that means God is talking to you, or maybe whoever you want to say, but whoever, you're ready. You know, if you have this feeling, like, for example, why should I do a podcast? People ask me all the time, Josh, why should I even do a podcast? Who wants to listen to my opinion? I'm just Sarah.
Who wants to listen to our opinions?
Exactly.
I'm surprised that people listen to us now.
Don't be.
I'm surprised.
But look, see, that's the mindset that we got to destroy. It's if you don't even like listen to yourself, you feel like your opinions don't even matter. Well, it should matter. Just because you're not qualified to talk about sports does not mean you're less entitled to talk about it. Just because I'm not entitled about, let's say, politics does not mean I'm less entitled to talk about politics. You have every right on this earth to talk about anything you want and say what you want, but consequences will be there, of course. But you're still entitled to go to school. You're still entitled to get a job. You're still entitled if you want it. You have that freedom, and your voice matters to somebody, regardless if you don't like it yourself. It does.
You continue. I'm gonna step back here. You taking over the entire thing. This is my therapy session.
It's not about Doug. It really isn't about you.
It's honestly. Not about me, but still, but like I said before, like you've got it. You got a system down. For me, I'm just like I have no clue.
You told me just a few weeks ago, Josh. All you do is you go on your computer, you press play, and you wing it. That's literally what you just told me. And I said, yes. If you don't like that method, I don't care if you don't like my method. It works. It's effective because you know I have read it. If I talk about something, I've read the scripture before. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's very little scripture, and I just do mostly talking. Mm-hmm. But I try to, because people don't really look for, sometimes advice. Sometimes they don't really care about the advice you give. They care about the text. They care about understanding what the text is talking about. And a lot of people don't get a chance to read their Bible or read anything. And so if you can explain to them what's going on and personalize it to how you think it's going on. And for example, my favorite character in the Bible besides Jesus is David. I love David. And I feel like I feel like I am David sometimes. So I go through his mindset. How do you find David's mindset? You can't read 1 Samuel and know how David thinks. You're wrong. Go read Psalms. The Psalms tell you, literally Psalms 1 through like 20 are all David. He writes all of them. And they're all about a time period He was running away from a king. So if you feel like you're in fear, if you have anxiety, if you feel like you're not good enough, you feel like you're depressed, you feel like you suffer from sexual immorality, go read all those Psalms 1 through 23. You will be shocked how much David, a random guy in a story, relates to your life. And now when you read 1 Samuel, you know what he's going through. You can explain it. That's what people want to hear. And you don't have the key. I don't have the key. I do have the key, but you have the key too. And that's what you have to kind of figure that out in yourself. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah,
no, just keep talking. So
the noises.
That's just my opinion at least. But anyway, what do you think, Doug?
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean,
it's not about you though.
Yeah, I know it's not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we both, or I, because I'm part of the church, and I have to be ready for whatever things people like. Hey, I have a question for this and stuff like that. When youth, they get a little bit older, I'm like, hey, you think you can help me out with this, or can you explain this to me? I know I have to be ready, but at the same time, like, even if I am ready and I read it and I'm able to explain it, are they even gonna listen or anything like that? I have that authority to be like, hey, do this.
This is what I do with young people. With young people, you have to get on their level before they even will listen to you. Like, if you ever deal with younger children, I have this. She's my little baby cousin, right? She's like 2-3 years old, and she doesn't like to be with anybody. She likes to be around girls, but she hates like the boys she plays with or something like that. So first time I see her in person, like, I give her this look, and I'm like, I'm on your level. I was like, we're gonna play right now. You never met me before your whole life. We're gonna pretend we're in castles and dragons, and that's what happened. So you have to get on their level for them to even accept you, and then when you're accepted, they're open to listening. And when you explain it to children or kids who are teenagers, you have to really personalize it to the topics that they are going through. You know. And you have to learn their culture. You have to learn, okay, if I'm a teenager in LA and I skate, maybe, I smoke weed, I listen to rap music, my mom just literally forced me to go to this whack church that I don't care about. So you have to be, even though you don't think that way, you have to learn and adapt to their thinking to get them to listen to the things you might have for them. And that's hard for people to do. But we do it every day to coworkers, to strangers. We get on people's levels and we say, I understand how you feel. So why can't you do that in church?
True.
But that's it from a church point of view. You don't have to always do that. There's a concept. We had a question. Somebody asked me at a party recently, and they were like, hey, Josh, do you feel like God has free will? And I was like, the whole conversation got deep because now it's about religion. And I was like, okay, well, or does God control us? Does he, do humans have free will?
Was I there for this? I feel like this sounds very familiar.
We talked about this a long time ago, but this is actually recent. Like, when I came back from Alabama recently.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked me this question. And I said, we have free will, and we also have a God who has a beginning and an ending for us. And he allows us to make a lot of different mistakes. A lot of, he allows us to grow and change our life for the better. But in the day, he does have a plan for us. And he does have an ending to us. It's a more deeper conversation than that. But you have to start breaking down topics that maybe non-Christians or maybe some subtle Christians may not know that that you have an answer to.
Yeah.
And you have to be open to talking about that kind of stuff and give them something. Like, why would you even want to read your Bible? Well, the Bible isn't really always about explaining who Jesus is. It is. To me, the Bible is explaining you concepts how to be a better person. Why you should always love your brother, love your neighbor, even though they may be struggling with what kind of sex they are. Even though they could be struggling with anxiety and how their parents treated them, or they could be depressed. The Bible is for those people who are trying to learn to be a better human. And if you're just focusing on basic church concepts that people are sick and tired of hearing, and they want to learn how to grow, like me, I wanted to learn how to grow in my personal life. I didn't care about all those stories and all these things, like explaining why there was a great flood. That's interesting. That's the science. I get it. But I want to learn how does this affect me? How do I learn the Bible needs to teach me how to be a better man. How do I find a good wife? How do I build my own house? How do I get financially stable? Does the Bible teach me those things? Yes, it does. And people need to start figuring out those things, things that are substance. And then they're going to appreciate more why Jesus is an awesome God, why God is an awesome person. Well, who the heck was Moses, and Joshua and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Tangent. Sorry. But do y'all get that? Y'all get that? Is that too deep? That's probably too deep for those people, huh?
I don't think so. I mean, our listeners are pretty smart and they're able to ask us questions and stuff like that.
They are.
Yeah, they're probably smarter than we are.
Probably. And I don't know. And so, and you balance that. And I don't put that in my life. I don't put that in Doug's life unless well, my personal friends, this is why I had to start distinguishing myself with who I always hang out with, because I wanted to be around people who they can deal with all 5 personalities. It's like split. They can take the religion side, they can take the funny side, they can take the homie Josh, because home Josh is home Josh, you know. And then they got to be able to take, you know, all the things that I like to do that I may not show to everybody. I wanted to be around people that I can, you know, I feel comfortable with.
Also, stubborn Josh.
And stubborn Josh.
I don't like that.
Jerry says, there's a part in the old house. I wanted to cook some popcorn. And I wanted to do it for 3 minutes, and they were only giving me like 2 minutes. And I said, Jerry, I don't want a minute. I want 3 minutes. It was so weird, and I was very mad. And Jerry was like, what does 1 second have to do with it, Josh? I said, no, I want to be able to control my own time. I was stubborn. You know, I was being mean. You know, that's who I am. I'm learning to be a better person. I'm not perfect, but I am stubborn sometimes.
Popcorn, really?
Yeah, it was funny. It's a funny moment, but you have to be around people who can deal with all those types of sides of you. And that's why sometimes people keep blocking others, you know, people think, oh, I'm blocked. It's blocking season. You know, I'm done with, you know, all these girls in my life, whatever, brother. They're trifling, they're trash, you know, all these fake friends. It happens a lot, bro. And this is why you need to start really figuring out who you want to keep in your circle and why they need to be close.
Yeah.
Because they can change your point of view.
Very true. And also, like, be very careful. You good? What's going on? What are we hearing?
Oh, I was eyeing that Pepsi.
You're right. Yeah. You can grab that Pepsi if you want. It's totally fine. It's oh god. Yeah, no, it's definitely a right to like be mindful of who you have around you and stuff like that, and like, are they equally yoked? Are they getting you closer to God, or are they not? Stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't focus on, are you getting me closer with God? I feel like you don't need to be around people always getting you closer to God, and that's probably a statement that you're gonna regret.
Well, here's the thing. Well, there's a reason for that. Well, it's because what are they bad influence are gonna rub off on you?
So sometimes church people aren't always giving me the best influence. And sometimes it's the people who don't go to church act better than the people who do go to church. Ooh. And so sometimes you need to have a vast amount of friends around you that can teach you a little bit of everything. And if, of course, they rub off of you, but if you don't spend all your time around those bad influences, they won't control you. They won't rub off on you in a dramatic way. But you do need to have a vast amount of people, but choose the best. Like, for example, I have 2 friends I talk to once a month. They're not super religious, you know, but you know, they're very smart in politics. They're very smart in observing the world. They go to very prestigious colleges, and I want to be around those people. I want to be able to grow in a different mindset that I'm not used to. You know, and they teach me that. And we don't have to bring religion into it, everything, because it's going to dilute what we have. We learn from each other. We know who we are. We know that Josh may be more religious than somebody else, but he has a very good mindset that I need to learn from. You know, maybe I never had one black friend, so let me go meet a black person so I can get that cultural difference. So you can't always just be so strict about, you know, that kind of thing, you know, but you have to be very aware if you do that, you know, who the people you want in your life and what you want to learn from them. And you keep them around for those things. You don't keep them around because, oh, I like John. John's a cool guy. You know, I want to just hang out with John. No, you don't want to keep John. John could be smoking cigarettes every day, and that rubs off on you. Now you're smoking cigarettes. Maybe you meet a dude named Nathan. Maybe Nathan is, you know, really good at explaining Einstein's theory of relativity, and you like talking about astronomy with the guy. He might not be Christian, but he has cool ideas of teaching you science, and you're like, man, I want to hang out with John for a few days, you know, for a day or something, once a week or something, and that's cool. Do that. You know, and as a Christian, showing that brotherly love is key, because Jesus did the same thing. He didn't hang around with all these strict Christians and blah, blah, blah. He hung around some people who were maybe, you know, prostitutes washing his feet. You know what I'm saying? He hung around people who were at the lowest place in their lives, or maybe
tax collectors.
tax collectors, people who did some shady business. Jesus didn't care because he knew who he was in Christ. He knew he was going to go heaven regardless of these people. But I'm going to use my life to touch any life in a positive way as I can. That's what Jesus wanted to do. And that's what you have to learn as a Christian to do, to keep those church people around you, but don't just cling to it because it's safe. Go towards something that you can learn from and help people get through and just teach them the love that Jesus puts in you. Sometimes you can show Jesus in yourself without even saying the word Jesus. You can say, hey man, I just want to, love on you. If you need a friend, talk to you like you do. You say this a lot to people. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. I'm always here for you. I will stay on the phone for you for 2 hours, getting you through every situation you got to get to. And I'm not going to tie my religion into it. I'm just going to just help you because my religion is tied to my personality and my emotions. So you're going to get God without even me talking about John 3:16. But then when you're ready, I'm right here for it. I'm already equipped. I found 3 of my friends last year who are not religious at all come to me about God, and they've been more interested in God, and they've been reading things about faith. And I don't talk to people. I don't go out and say, "Are you ready for the Lord's return?" I don't do that. Because I don't. It's messed up. I don't go out there and force religion down your throat. I just want to be your friend.
Yeah, a few of my friends from work, I
bet they have too, right?
Some have talked to me about it a few times here and there, and I've answered questions, stuff like that. And one of them, I posted up I was like, he was in the car with me, and I had music playing, and it was more of a preaching going on, but with music in the background.
Got you.
And he put on his headphones. He didn't want to listen to it, and once the thing came off, he was like, "I'm sorry, but I just didn't want to hear it." I'm like, "That's cool, I respect it." Yeah. But here's the thing. I had music, same exact thing, but it was in Spanish. He didn't know what was happening, but he's like, "Ooh, I like this." And he bumped it up. I didn't even put it up for him. I was just playing, and he's just like, "Oh, I like how they're singing." I'm like, "But they're like praising Jesus in the song."
He didn't know.
He didn't know what was going on.
Spanish.
He didn't know Spanish. He's like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know." Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, but he doesn't know. I'm just like, "Yeah," and I'm singing along to it. He's just playing his game on the phone, just listening along. He's like, "I like this." I'm like, "Good. I'm happy." I didn't tell him what it was. I was not gonna tell him anything. I was just like, "I'm gonna let him have this."
That is that personality. You have to be willingly and open to be around people who don't always reflect what you are accustomed to. You have to. It's a key in growing in life, and it's key to growing as a Christian person especially. Because look at this world today. Look how Christians are represented. Look how Christians are looked down on society. And maybe it ain't the world that's our enemy. Maybe it's how we treat other people. Maybe we start just saying to ourselves, "Man, can we just be nicer to one another? Can we just hold up, man? Hold up. We just pause for 2 seconds. Let's just think."
The world got crazy 2 weeks ago.
It got crazy.
It got real crazy.
And there were God signs all over the place. There are people who stormed federal buildings with, Jesus all over it,
It wasn't for Jesus.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't for Jesus.
And if we start politicizing the church, we start politicizing a God, and start playing the role of a church and just be there for people when they need it, you will probably grow in your church, or you will probably grow in your friendships. You'll probably grow in your personality. I'm not speaking from experience. Maybe I am. But I don't go too deep in this stuff. But I'm just saying I have a lot of increases in my life and my personal life because of, I think, of my character, how I act, and how I treat people. And I try to tie my personal, Christian traits. I love my gospel music, my Kirk Franklin. And I'm gonna post my Kirk Franklin and my T. Jakes and my Pastor Kirk. I'm gonna post my people because that's who I am. But I'm not going to force it on your throat. You have a choice to go on my Instagram or not. You don't have to watch my story if you don't feel like that today. But my friends, you'd be surprised. All these people I meet who are so smart, they're so awesome. They take the time and watch that stuff, and they don't try to shun away from it. They don't try to hide it from me. In fact, they embrace who I am. They know who I'm Christian. They know I like Michelle Obama. She's my favorite person in the world. Where's the book? Where is the book? Where is my? I was playing with it yesterday. They know that this is my favorite book of all time, and they tell me, "Josh, I'm gonna buy your book. I'm gonna buy this book because it's your favorite book of all time." But I want to know why you love it so much.
Did you finish
These are the people. I'm literally. I could finish it today if I wanted to. I'm gonna last few pages, but it's amazing. It's a really good book. All these pages changed my entire life. I wish anybody would read it. Especially if you come from a privileged or underserved minority community, you will love this book. It's like my second Bible. I love Becoming. She spoke to me in a lot of ways. But anyway, that's another book. But
we have a lot of books here. It's like, well, he has a lot of books here.
I do.
He's a reader. Trusting
Yeah,
God.
they just love books. Yeah. This one is by Joyce Meyer. It's called The Secret Power of Speaking God's Word.
Did your mom give you this?
Basic. Yeah, she gave this.
Yeah.
To me. She just threw it. Baby, just take it, baby. Baby, put that right there, baby. Mama, I have an overweight tookie. You got room. Look at that room. Baby, like little inch. And she put it in there.
That's for women though. It's not for. I mean, Women of Faith Study Guide. Yeah, this is.
Sometimes the best way to learn about females is to read books about females. All right.
I mean, I'm not. You're not wrong.
I'm just saying.
I know you're not wrong.
Don't judge the game. Don't judge.
I'm not judging the game.
No, but I never read that book from my life. My mom did give it to me, so I don't know what's in it.
She wrote stuff in it. She was
did?
doing. Yeah, she was going through the entire thing.
I don't read my mama's notes.
Yeah, I just saw it. Mama Josh. Thank you, Mama Josh. You're the best.
Praying in the spirit.
We've talked to you.
She's going to church on my birthday too.
Going. Yep. Oh, it's gonna be Josh's birthday on Saturday.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
There it
My
is.
birthday on Saturday.
Here, just some notes in there.
Oh, she has some little notes.
Yeah, she has nice handwriting.
There you go.
Yeah, it's Josh.
Shorts and cursive.
Is for real? Oh, my dad has like perfect handwriting. Like his
Really?
signature.
sloppy.
His signature can be on the Declaration of Independence.
So yeah,
No joke. That's how.
So yeah, what was the topic? Before I lose my topic, yeah, people embrace who I am, and they don't shine away from me. They actually, they like that part of me, and I don't hide myself anymore. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not something. I'm gonna live my life, but I'm gonna be open and kind to people who aren't like me.
Yeah, my friends from work, like they know I'm a Christian. They know I do this stuff, and they talk to me, and I don't shy. Like I said, I play music right in front of them. I am not afraid of just putting some of my worship music on with them and just like grooving along with it. It is what it is.
If you don't like me, then bro, you ain't got to.
Yeah, the door's right there.
So yeah, when you're out in this world, young people or my age group or older, and you feel like you have to pretend to be somebody that you're not because they're not Christian, they don't like your culture, they don't like where you come from. Well, I can do a podcast on that. We'll do that another one because you don't want to shine away from where you come from. That's a deep one.
Yeah,
a lot of young people, we all go through that one, and some old people go through that one too. But anyway, the point was you don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not just to make friends.
Also,
what's up?
Also, because we had two different topics around here.
We did.
We had two different topics. Also, don't feel like you're unqualified when you're.
That was
the whole main one. Josh took over this one. I would just sat here and look pretty.
You allowed me.
You had it all, brother. I played a character. You were really going for it. But yeah, don't feel like you feel underqualified to do something when you have an interest for it, or you already may have a calling, but you are just doubting the fact that you're able to do this because of where you came from, or like, I don't feel like I'm doing this because you're comparing yourself to other people when you shouldn't be. You should just be doing what you should be doing. Stop looking towards other people so you can find validation, or you can find themselves in them, because God has already called you to do so.
Girl.
So if you are being pushed or being led to that part of you speaking the gospel or leading worship or anything that relies on spreading God's good word, then do it. Don't look at the TD Jakes or the other people that are on there. What
Olsteins
and all that. Don't look at them because they have this audience. I'm like, forget that. People are looking towards you so they can receive, because they are not going to church. So you're the only church they're going to.
I'd rather touch the 2 than touch 1,000. If I can just touch 2 people.
I thought you said tooth.
Oh.
I thought you said tooth. It's like,
if I can just touch 2 people, I'd rather touch 2 people than touch 1,000.
Yeah.
Because at least I touch 2 effectively good people.
Yeah, and then they will effectively touch one person or whatever. Exactly. And go on. And that's why God had disciples. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they will give out more disciples, and they are their own, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Doubled.
So that it is. So don't feel unqualified when God already gave you the qualification.
And you can take this a step further. You can also take it outside the church. If you feel like you're not qualified to do a job, you feel like you're not qualified to go out and finally start taking that next step in dating or taking that next step in, buying a house or something, like it's time. You can do all things through Christ, which gives me strength.
All within reason, though. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, we just assumed that our podcast was smart, so therefore parameters that we just set in the beginning of the show, I'm going to assume that you're smart.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume, and you are smart, even if you think you're dumb. I mean, y'all, I failed math 3 times. I failed a math class twice. The third time I passed it. So y'all, I've been through the lows and the highs. Like, trust me, I know what it's like to be the dumbest person in the room.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that, sir.
So when I first came to California, I started at Glendale Community College, and I had to do a placement test, and I placed into the lowest math class at GCC.
So did I.
And I didn't fight it. And they said, no, Josh, you actually did pretty well. If you just take the test, you study a little bit more, you can get out of it. And I tried, but I didn't get a higher score, so I just stayed in the class. So I took all the lowest level class to the highest level class, all the way up. And in the middle, I would fail a class, retake it. I would fail a class, retake it. I would pass. And it took me 3 years to get out of that lowest place. So you can't tell me how stupid and dumb you are, because these are excuses. You just have to be patient. You're smart. I didn't get some things, and I knew some of the math I did in high school, but I forgot.
I can't do math.
I lived my life. You forget things. You are going through things that everybody else is going through. You don't feel like you need to be so smart just because you know a few people, in your club or in your organization who are just on that position, and they're smarter than you and they're younger than you. You don't know what kind of background they came from or all the things they had to study to get to that point. You need to put that time in and studying for yourself and getting there. You're not stupid. Even though it took you 10 years, baby, to get Algebra 2, baby, you still did it. And you be proud of yourself because of that. Sorry.
That's okay. Hey, Josh, all right, here's the thing. The thing about Josh is he's very into, the educational system and the skills that you have. I've seen this man be on the phone with someone for about an hour and a half, even longer, just so they can get their schooling done. This happened a few days ago where his buddy called him and he's like, this is what you're going to do. He mapped out his whole education career. I was like, you're going to take this class, you're going to take this class, you can do this. I'm going to call you tomorrow to see if you did it. That's what he would do because he knows from experience what you can do.
It's hard.
It's hard, but you can do it.
It's so hard by yourself. If you can playing the piano, if I can get Doug to help me play some keys on the right side because I can't reach it, it'll be so much easier.
Ding.
And school is not hard, education is not hard, and getting a job is not hard either. You just got to believe in yourself and be consistent. And don't let people sway you by anything. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna cut it.
That's it. I feel like that we have a good everything got covered in this one. So thank you guys for watching another episode with us. You already know we're on IG. It's gonna be in the description down below. If you want to talk to us individually, you can do that. Or if you want to talk to us both of us at the same time, just go on Occasion and Purpose on IG. If you like it, like this video. If you are not subscribed, subscribe already. And remember, if you're gonna do good just because.
All right, guys. Peace. Bye.